Welcome to Polygon's overview segment. This is Charlie Hall. Joining me today, Mr. Nick Robinson. How are you, Nick?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. Welcome to my spaceship.
Oh, it's a nice looking little ship you got here.
We are playing around with, well, I've been playing around with this past weekend, a little game called Rebel Galaxy. It had a press preview for about 2 or 3 days. Nick, have you had some stick time with this thing?
A little bit. I played this at a PlayStation preview event about a month ago, and it is so not quite what it looks like, I feel like.
And I think the place to start is like with the soundtrack. Just when you fire up that splash screen that we were just looking at, it has got this hard rockin' kind of Delta blues rock and roll thing going on.
I've heard it described as like kind of like what space truckers would listen to, and I think that's the perfect way of putting it.
Yeah, man, we are doing a little space trucking right now. I'm mining for some omnium. Other commodities in this game include obtanium. I'm sure you're familiar with unobtainium, but, you know, really we'll just go after the obtanium. It's much...
a little bit easier to get, yeah.
Fewer flying things to contend with. So, but yeah, this is one of the game's early quest line missions, and I'm trying to get some omnium for a little robotic friend of mine. And as soon as I get enough omnium, well, gosh, all these Corian pirates drop out of orbit. Mm-hmm. Have you had a chance to play... a lot of the ship-to-ship combat, Nick?
Yes, yeah, and it's kind of interesting the way it feels. A lot of it is kind of automated. The way that the devs themselves actually describe it as being kind of a clear inspiration and parallel for them was the Assassin's Creed naval combat in Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag.
For sure.
And you can definitely feel that influence in there, but in space.
Yeah, definitely. This is the starting ship, and it's going to actually take quite a bit of mining and pirate blowing up to get the next ship, in my experience. The shields, as well as your hull, are quadranted. So you've got fore and aft, port and starboard sides, and you'll find yourself kind of shifting within the battle space to kind of point the strongest part of your ship at the enemy at any given time. If you can take a look here, my right side, I've got my full shields, my full hull, so that's what I've got facing this Corian pirate scow. And so we're each kind of maneuvering, doing this very delicate dance among the asteroid field to try and bring our weapons to bear, and I finally get a hold of him here.
And you can, another thing to note, you can hop into that turret on top and start manually shooting if you ever need to, which is invaluable in situations where like there's some sort of homing rocket coming after you or something like that.
Right. So it's locked to the 2D plane, and I think that's where some of that Assassin's Creed influence comes from that you were talking about. But smaller ships like fighters, bombers, gunships, they can break out of that 2D plane and kind of spin all around in 360 degrees. And that aiming the turret is definitely going to help that.
Do you want to talk a little about the sort of the pedigree of this game and where it's coming from? Because that to me is one of the most interesting things about it.
Well, yeah, this is from a small company called Double Damage Games, and that was co-founded by two guys named Travis Baldry and Eric Schaefer, and you might know them from games like Torchlight and Diablo, respectively. These guys have some serious action RPG roots.
And what was really mind-blowing to me talking to the developers while playing this was after about 30 minutes, they just casually offhand mentioned that this is running on the Torchlight engine. Like, the underlying code here is the Torchlight code, which is... Yeah, how is that possible? Literally nothing about this resembles Torchlight in any way whatsoever.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, but if you had to make a parallel between this and a Diablo or something, I think that your ship is your character. You're going to be constantly upgrading your ship with weapons, with new shields, with new engines, and actually with new powers here as well. We're about to meet someone that was kind of unexpected in my playthrough of the game. So the storyline has you getting a message from your long-lost aunt, and you travel off with this derelict ship to the farthest reaches of space, and you get this gift from your aunt. And so I've mined the omnium for this robotic scientist. I've brought him my aunt's bauble, and he's going to do some research on it. But what I also brought along is some booty. So I'm going to do a little trading here on the open market. And usually when you play a space sim, Nick, you end up in a lot of spreadsheets. So, and that's kind of a thing to be avoided if you're going to go like the action RPG route, right? You want to get back into the action. You want to do the fighting and the smuggling and the character building stuff like this. But they've really made it very seamless. You can see the chart over here, red, green, if it's going to be profitable or not. Get rid of your cargo or pick up some new cargo, and you're out. You're not taking notes and studying supply and demand curves or anything. You're just in and out. It's really pretty seamless. Then you get to come in here and upgrade the ship. Did you play with the upgrade system at all?
Not really. I mostly played with the combat and the economy, which it's a crazy sentence to say, but you're right. Like, the way they handle the economic stuff in this game is fascinating. Like, the booty you picked up from your aunt, for example, do you remember what it was? Because in my playthrough, it was like whiskey, I think.
Okay, the Greel whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah. And like they were explaining kind of how that affects everything. Like, I could go sell it, I could take it for myself, I could kill the guy I was meeting up with and take it from him and not give him a cut of it. I could like destroy it and then change the amount of whiskey in the economy. Like, the ways that this economy is sort of built to react to the player is really fascinating to me.
Well, you'll actually zoom down on the stellar map and you can watch little trade caravans travel between star bases. And if you go and you intercept that trade caravan, you'll affect the market at the destination. It won't have received its goods, and whatever it was carrying will be in higher demand for it. So you can actually go in there and see it happening and interfere with it in real time. It's really clever.
It's like a much more like procedural, much more real version of the stock market in GTA 5 almost, where instead of being dictated by these preset mission outcomes, it's dictated by your actions, which is a really cool idea, I think.
Now, this is a sentient AI, and this was living inside of the bauble that my aunt gave me. And it just came alive now that it was on my ship. So I go out, the bauble tells me that it needs some more components. It needs other scattered pieces of itself, and it directs me to this asteroid field. And waiting for me is this named Proteus Storm pirate vessel that is so powerful, Nick, it starts blasting through the asteroids to get to me. This is way over my level.
For sure. And you they try to indicate that a little bit, I think, with like some of the symbol. I think what those demon horns next to it means are it is way, way out of your league and you need to flee. They have ways of trying to communicate when you are under-leveled or underpowered for a combat situation.
Yeah, but they don't really tell that to you until you show up in combat range with the vessel. It's like, oh, surprise, you're going to get your butt handed to you right now. So you just kind of have to wiggle and maneuver and get out of there and try and level up before you can take on these larger baddies. But as you travel through space, you'll actually run across some of these random encounters. And this was kind of a dead drop that I found. And I was able to hack into this message beacon, and I was able to get kind of a little randomly generated quest from it. So it says the drop is set, expect some action when you get there, and I zoom off to the transponder coordinates.
I kind of love the way they handle the warp stuff, by the way. It just feels like you're going really fast. It feels efficient. You still have to be awake for it, you know what I mean? Like, you're still playing, but it's handled in a really clever way.
Oh, yeah, you can easily just drive right into a star and get stuck in the atmosphere or something. You have to be paying attention. So we end up in this little random encounter, and I don't know what's in here because these pirates, I simply can't crack their guard and get through to either one of them. So again, I'm going to need to do some leveling and come back to it. But the way that you're able to outfit your ship and customize your ship and maneuver it, it's all very satisfying.
It is, and to me, like, as someone who barely cares about space combat stuff, the compelling thing here is the way they've built it as this storytelling mechanism that also happens to have, like, really satisfying tactile space combat. I don't know, I came away from this pretty intrigued.
Oh, yeah, totally. I want to find out more about this AI that's on my ship. I want to come across my aunt. I want to meet all these little characters in the universe. And then you can also join and participate in factions as well. And there's unique ships and unique armaments that you can get from being part of various factions. So this guy's coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and computer systems pretty soon, I believe. So thanks for taking the time, Nick.
Oh, no problem. I'm looking forward to it.
Missiles inbound. Cover shields down. Add shields down. Add hull breach.